Good morning, everyone. It's Jenn from McCreath. It is Sunday, February 6, 2022. Been watching the chaos unfold in Ottawa, both in terms of parties imploding, such as the Conservatives, and the chaos out on the streets with these, they call themselves a freedom protest, but it's really some sort of, it's basically an occupation. And I was watching, I actually watched CBC News World, yes. I don't like our local CBC News, but the News World folks are good. They had an analyst on saying the police in Ottawa are shy to remove the protesters because of what happened 10, 15 years ago when we had the G20. The irony is that police aggressiveness in removing protesters during a left-leaning protest has made them, no pun intended, gun-shy to shut down this right-leaning protest. So maybe there's a lesson to be learned there. There's a class action lawsuit that's been launched against the protesters, so I think that's pretty interesting. The Prime Minister's not willing to deal with this, the police aren't willing to deal with this, the Premier or the Mayor are not stepping in, so a civil action, a lawyer is going to step in and try to do something about this. Bottom line, civil unrest is a sign that your country's in serious trouble, and it's even worse when the officials are not willing to deal with it. Protect and serve, isn't that what law enforcement's all about? We're not seeing that here in Ottawa. Now I gather it's spilled over into Toronto and Quebec City and I guess Winnipeg as well, and the border out in Alberta, I believe. Meanwhile, the Conservative Party is falling apart. There seems to be two factions, one that support this type of protest and others who do not. Pierre Poilievre has now stepped forward saying he wants to be a leadership candidate. He kind of looks like a far-right leaning faction within the Conservative Party, and I guess there's those who are hoping that the Conservatives stay true to their roots as a progressive party, the so-called Red Tory group. We saw the party fall apart in the 90s, and what we basically saw was they split into two parties. We then had a Conservative Party and a Reform Party, which meant that the Liberals would always win the elections because the vote would split on the right. I think that's what we're seeing now, and even more ironic, there could be three Conservative parties. You could have a Red Tory party, you could have a Pierre Poilievre-led quasi-Reform party, and then you've got the further right extremists under Maxime Bernier. Meanwhile, the fact that Trudeau's not dealing with this issue, a lot of the people who are center-leaning or even left-center are going to lose confidence in his leadership. So it's a huge opportunity for the NDP, in my opinion. I know I've been in and out of the NDP myself a few times. I even ran as a provincial NDP candidate last year, but the same type of power struggles exist within the NDP. There's those that want to be left-center and those that want to be far-left, but there's a huge opportunity here. The Conservatives are splitting their vote. Centrists are going to be angry at Trudeau. So those who are left of center, if the NDP appears left-center, they could switch that vote over to the NDP. If the NDP decides to go far left, you will not get those votes. But huge opportunity, huge wake-up call. I don't know if Jagmeet Singh's the right leader or not, but somebody needs to grab a hold of the NDP party and say, for those of you who are in the center or left-center, we want to present to you a tangible alternative that's not far left fringy, and I would encourage the NDP to establish themselves as a left of center candidate party. Send the far lefties out the door. They can go join the Marxist-Leninist party or any of these other far left parties and get on TV. Criticize Trudeau. He's not solving this. Where's Jagmeet Singh? I watch the news. I see a little bit of Trudeau, but then he kind of disappeared, and now all the news has been Erin O'Toole, Pierre Poilievre, Candice Bergen. Wake up, NDP, here's your chance. You actually have a chance now. Even without me, you can still do it. Wake up. Maybe you can attract people who left the party to come back. I'm a free agent. I'm an orphan in terms of my political alliances. I'm waiting for a party to stand up and say, this is what I stand for, and Jennifer, you should join us because we represent your ideologies. The Green Party is pretty much out of it, so here's your chance, NDP. Come on, guys, girls, people. Wake up!